What's up? It's your boy Mean Joe Green, aka Prince of the Ghetto. Y'all, I want to talk about the truth about Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson. You know, I just saw the new Michael Jackson movie, and it kind of portrayed him like he was just this evil, selfish, greedy, bad man. You know, the movie made Michael Jackson's father look like he was kind of evil in a way. Compared to the old Michael Jackson movie, the one that I saw, the first Michael Jackson movie, I think it came out in 1993. Joe Jackson on that movie, he was like just a strict parent. Because the part when Michael Jackson's hair got caught on fire, on the old movie, I remember when the media came to try to talk and get their opinion about something, and Joe Jackson said, do you have any kids? And the guy told him no or something, and he said, that's my son in there. You see, on that movie, Joe Jackson had sympathy. He like, that's my son, like, I ain't got time for that. I care for my son. But on this new Michael Jackson movie, when Michael Jackson's hair got on fire, they had Joe Jackson, this father, like, is he still gonna be able to do the tour? Trying to make him like he was just greedy or something. Like he didn't really care about his well-being, his health or safety. It tried to make it like all Joe Jackson cared about was the money. But I'm gonna scratch that's just the movie, you know. But the truth about that is Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson, was just a strict parent. And I do think these days that's what's wrong with a lot of these young men now. They don't have a parent like Joe Jackson in the household. That's the type of fathers that these young black men need in their life. That's the type of father young black men need in the household. Help raise them. They need strict discipline like that. Y'all don't think that? Y'all don't see how these YNs doing now in the streets because there's no strict father in the household. It's only mothers, and mothers can do so much with a boy, with a young man. All she can do is just feed him and try to look after him. But teaching that young brother how to be a man, to do manly things, to show the young brother how to treat the woman in the house, his wife or whatever, the right way, they don't have that type of structure in the home anymore. So people that saying Joe Jackson was just mean and strict, if every black household had a Joe Jackson in their household, do you know how many kids would be something? You have to be strict on these young brothers these days because the world is against the black man. See, what people fail to realize, once your black child get out in this world, they ain't got to do nothing but make one mistake. In jail, there they go. They giving them all them years, throwing their life away. And you gonna make mistakes, especially if ain't nobody there to teach you nothing. That's how you learn by mistakes. And they ain't giving much chance. If you ain't got no money, a lot of these black people in poverty don't have money to get lawyers or nothing like that. They got to go do their time. And the higher ups know this. See, this is what I'm saying. Why do the higher ups do not want strong black fathers in the household? You could tell they don't, because they don't even like LeVar Ball. LaMelo Ball, them daddy, they was against him. Look what happened with all his boys, all them basketball players. They was against him. They didn't like him. The same with Deion Sanders. With his boys, Shedeur Sanders, them. They don't like him because they don't like the strong black father, because they know. Can you guess why they don't like the strong black fathers? Can you please tell me why they scared of that? Because it's power in black men. They know this. I ain't gonna get deep into this. That's another topic. But think about that. Why they scared of the strong black father in the household? Because black can dominate. And they know this. Without the black father there, the child is most likely gonna get misled, make mistakes, and take some losses. And life get left behind or life get lost. That's why they winning. But a strong, structured black father in that household, you know how many Michael Jacksons we would have? And yes, Joe Jackson, he raised them his way. How he's a bad father when he never left. He had all those kids working at a steel mill. He stayed. He wasn't a deadbeat. He stayed, fed them, clothed them, tried to teach them the best way he knew how. Structure. Because if you don't do that, I'm raising 2 boys, and I noticed if you don't touch them while they're young, man, when they get older, it's really nothing you're going to be able to do for them. You got to catch them young. You got to put your hands on them and make them with force, however it takes for them to get it in their household. Because once they get out in this real world, you see what the police is them doing. You see what the law is going to do to them. And if they go to prison, you see how prison going to treat them. The world ain't going to be safe for them. So discipline them in their household the best way you see fit. That's what we need, some strong black fathers just like Joe Jackson. It'll be a lot of young men alive today. A lot of these senseless killings going on with these YNs, if they would have had strong black structured fathers in their household, a lot of them would be alive today. Tell me I'm wrong. And people like, oh, don't whoop, you can't do it. You got to put it in there. It don't take many ass whoopings. Because once that child be scared of you and he know that you the big figure, he gonna obey you. And that's how he gonna start doing right. You have to have discipline and structure in the household. You being soft on them boys, man, they get older or you ain't there, you see the results of that. These kids out here lost, senseless killings, doing dumb, ignorant shit. And people like they can't even see that. And then the movie with this Michael Jackson guy like Joe Jackson, like he just this evil, greedy figure. Like he didn't really care for his kids. All he was worried about was the money. How when he raised them, working, all them kids feeding them and stayed there with them, made them do performance and do this. That's why they became the Jackson 5. If he would have been like, y'all just do it and just sat back, they would never completed those goals. They wouldn't even went hard like that. They would have caught you see how the world, their attention would have went elsewhere. If you want your child to be something, you got to stay on them, discipline them, keep reminding them, get to work. You just can't sit there and think about it and don't do the shit. You got to put in work. And he was strict about that because he knew, he saw the vision. Because you know Joe Jackson, they say he was a boxer too. He was a magician. He knew what it took and he saw it in his boys and he led that vision. That's why it was a Jackson 5. That's why we had Michael Jackson, the greatest pop singer of all time. Give that credit and thanks to Joe Jackson. Whatever it took, the discipline. People trying to portray him like he was a bad man. That man wasn't no bad man. That man just had laws. He just had structure. He was strict. What a lot of these black YNs need these days. Some strict parents like Joe Jackson. And that movie, that's the only part of that movie that made me sickening, man. And if Michael Jackson did thought that his father was hard on him, that's why you think you Michael Jackson. You have to do some sacrifices sometimes. Sometimes you got to be hard on them. That's what make you strong as a man. Come on, man. People, man. Shout out to Joe Jackson. Fathers like Joe Jackson is needed in this day and age. Fuck what them other people talking about. You can't do this to your child. Man, we need discipline. Don't do that to your child and watch the world do it to them. Watch other black men in the society cook their ass like some steak and eat their ass up. When you can season them in the house and get them right so they can be on the right track, being places at the right time, getting it together, doing it right, and being something. You need discipline for that. And that's what Joe Jackson was. And people trying to talk like he was this bad. And no, Joe Jackson was the right, strong black father that's needed in black households. Straight up, man. So shout out to Joe Jackson. I don't care what nobody say. He was a good father. That's what black men need. Stop being weak ass men. And he got it out of them. That's why they were so successful, and they got a name to this day. If you made it this far in the video, like the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. And as always, I'm coming back with some more flavor. And it's all good. It's your boy, Mean Joe Green. Look, I'm about.